Hello, Narnach here. Welcome to Path of Exile. We've entered the Vaal ruins, which means we are very close to causing the darkness. That interesting state of the world where everything is purple, and apparently people get cranky about that. Not entirely sure. That would be nice to just have a bit more darkness in your life. I mean, what's not to like? It's not like this snow is a magic, happy Candyland. No, it's a rather serious and grim continent. So I think it's pretty okay if the weather and just environmental things, if they will just adapt to the continent. But no, people will start complaining about it. So. No, after we cause the darkness, we will solve the darkness by murdering the guy atop the pyramid. It's like the anti-sun god or something. No, he's like not Ra.
A moment of your time.
Hello, Vorici. What do you want me to do? Slay the target guards, keep the target alive. I can try. If it's a really weak Muppet, he's gonna die nonetheless. Well, we could probably have a look at letting the golem kill it. We could do that. This is also a standalone area. Oh, we got Shockwave Totem as well. Oh, it's the damage is okay to deal with normal mobs. Ooh, with Boiling Essence of Anger, which is okay to do it. Oh, I managed to queue up a couple of the essences. I had 4 of the lightning damage essences and the minion essences. Queued those up, and the next tier is not level 90 as I had presumed them to be, but they're actually just unleveled or not level dependent, or however you want to call that. Okay, we need to move in here, move in now. Got him. Please deal with these people. Okay, sure. Okay, totem time. Where's the boss? I haven't even seen the boss yet. Bossy. Okay. Okay, that worked. I didn't see who the Rogue Exile was. I did see some loot drop a bit off to the side. Over here. This looks like someone died here. Okay. No, but this is just serpentine constructs. But there's enough loot here to make it look like it was indeed someone we were going after. But oh well. Mysteries. You can't solve all of them. You can try, but sometimes you just have to take no for an answer. Or have to take unknown for an answer. You burn as well. Ah, you all alone. Here, I'll give you a companion totem. It's not quite a cube, but it will suffice. Okay, long series of tunnel is long. Also, I need more things to refill my Quicksilver flask. Seriously. Seriously. Long tunnel is long and pointless. And that's what Path of Exile needs. Secret doors. So that in the end it turns out that, well, if you click on the right tile on the wall, you actually can push through. Or just destructible terrain? Would that be too much to ask? Probably, right? Given the fact that we got freaking earthquakes in this game, I think destructible terrain would be too much. The game just can't handle it. But secret pathways and secret doors would definitely be an option. I mean, it's one of the things I really like about Grim Dawn. That said, no, Grim Dawn is just fully handcrafted levels with just more surprises than you can imagine in there. And just secret areas and hidden areas. And that is what gives that game a lot of replay value. Well, Path of Exile replay value comes from the sheer amount of builds you can make. No, this is the Magic the Gathering of action RPGs. For some reason I was clicking on this, expecting it to behave like a treasure chest. That wasn't quite what I was going for. Okay, we go there. Is this a dead end or is this not a dead end? Oh, there's a door. That's promising. A strongbox, sure. You burn, pretty please. And a fuse orb. So, yes. Okay. Interesting layout, especially with the long corridor. It's a layout template I haven't seen before.
Father of corruption.
But probably just a happy coincidence of segments just piecing together in a way that wasn't quite going anywhere. But well. Oh, hello, Devourer. Diviner's Strongbox. Ooh, interesting. I hadn't realized they appeared outside of maps. Freezes you when activated, 6 additional items, plus 2 chest level, and it explodes. Okay, so we're gonna go in with freeze immunity. We run away really hard. And we just pull in the things to burn them better. Nice. So. I like the concept of Diviner's Strongboxes. No, they actually make cards drop in in numbers that makes them relevant to more casual players like me. 3, 6, 7. No, but we'll come back for the rest. We push this away. So put all the cards with the cards. I tend to just keep all the cards in one box, because they automatically stack if you move them over. So at some point they'll just glow blue and then you know you've got a complete stack, and then you can hand it in for rewards. But yeah, a card is... Well, if you're someone who sells stuff on the market, then of course then cards have a value to you. But for someone who doesn't sell stuff on the marketplace, cards have no value to me unless I can use them. So something like a catalyst, unless I find 3, they're completely worthless. But every once in a while, if you manage to randomly complete a stack of cards, you might get something nice. But it's unless you're going for a specific item in a self-found setup or something. If you're doing solo self-found, then I can imagine using farming specific areas for the card set drop in order to get yourself specific uniques. Works pretty well. But if you're not going solo self-found, then those specific uniques, they will probably get farmed to death by enterprising fellow players. And you'll buy them for 1 or 2 chaos on the market. Or not on the market. We don't have a market. It's the Pee-wee.trade. We don't have a marketplace. No, completely not a marketplace. Doesn't resemble a marketplace at all. It's not completely robotic, nearly automated transactions where the only unreliable part is the human bit. Oh, sorry. Did I get too cynical and snarky there about the marketplace? I mean about trading in this game. No, but in all fairness. Now people keep moaning about Don't add a marketplace to the game, that's gonna ruin the game, just like in Diablo 3. But you already, to a certain degree, you already have that.
Let me bend your ear for a moment.
Hello? Because the entire trading process consists of, you go to v2.4.0g or to the trading forums or to any form of, or to any place where items that are for sale by other players are listed. Then you search according to the criteria that you want. You end up deciding what you want to buy. Then v2.4.0g makes it pretty easy, because they even have a pre-formatted message that exactly shows you what item you want, the quality it has, the name it has, where and what tab it is located in. They even show you the coordinates within the tab, so it's pretty easy for the seller to pick it out of the box. It already shows the price in there. So that's already a pre-filled price. You can choose to haggle over it, but I don't. If your price is too high, I don't haggle, but that might be a cultural thing. I mean, Dutch culture really doesn't include haggling. Price is a price, and if you charge more than the real price, and I end up not buying it, then sucks to be you, because you could have made a sale for the real price. In reverse, though, if you charge more than what you think it's worth and I end up buying it, then good for you. But back to Path of Exile. Once you copy paste the message, you paste it in game. If you're lucky, then within 5 to 10 seconds or half a minute you get a trade invite by the other party. Then you go to, you don't get a trade invite, you get a party invite. Then you accept it, you go to their hideout, you stand around the waypoint for 5 to 10 seconds, then you get a trade invite, you click accept, you put your currency in your part of the trade window, they put the item in their part of the trade window, you have to hover over it in order to unlock the message. So obviously that's what you do, and it basically just enforces good quality, good behavior, and it prevents you getting scammed. So that's good, because getting scammed is bad. And then after both parties have done that, they can click the accept button. The trade happens. You open up your chat. You say something like thanks or TY for thank you. If you're playing hardcore, you might add a stay safe or an SS to it, and then you move on. Then you unparty. Obviously, that's part of good manners. So they get more space for other people to trade with, and also to leave their instance so you can't steal their maps, which actually seems to be a pretty legit issue, especially during Perandus League, because if they ported out while trying to buy Perandus coins, it was possible to steal their trade from them. But in normal trading that doesn't really happen. And then after that you have your item, they have the currency, and it happened. So there is no human interaction in there. There is no choice. It's just efficient. Not completely optimized for efficiency. But I said that was the ideal case. More typical is that you find a really nice rolled item with good stats on it for a decent price. If you're lucky, it might even be underpriced compared to the rest of the offering. You whisper with a trade proposal, and you hear nothing. I usually wait a minute, then I whisper again, because you don't want to flood someone with messages. If I don't get a response to that within, say, half a minute after that, I might do a /whois on their player name, see where they are. If they are inside of the labyrinth, for example, or an area that sounds like the labyrinth, I might message them, something like, hey, I see you're in the labyrinth, can you give me a poke back once you're done? Respect their time. If they are in the labyrinth, obviously they're not gonna break their labyrinth run just to trade that one chaos item with you. But if they're courteous, they might even just let you know that they're doing the lab, and then they might say, oh, after lab or after map or something like that. Now, again, that's trending towards the positive side of the encounters. Something that more typical might happen is that you instantly get an AFK reply. So, well, then you might remember them and try again in 5 minutes, but no, then you're kind of in limbo because you don't really want to move on, do another bit, things like that. So, yeah, that's annoying. Could also be that you just don't get a reply, they're not AFK, but they're almost AFK or doing something else and just ignoring you or whatever. Well, sometimes it helps to just, every minute just keep poking and they might eventually respond. Sometimes you just have to move on. But no, if you give up on a trade, then no, you go back to your search, pick the second best result, go for that. If you go for something like gems or stuff like that, or uniques that are, they are interchangeable, then it's easier to find replacements. Then you might have to settle for something that's like 1% less DPS or 1% less armor, which is okay. But no, for rares, especially if you're trading for rares, they are unique. Interestingly, rares are more unique than unique items, and therefore they are harder to obtain. And especially if you have a good rare, that can be pretty tricky. But you might end up doing like 3, 4, 5 different attempts before you finally get a hold of a trader that will actually close the deal with you. PoE.trade, there's also a couple of assholes that price their wares at like 4.9 chaos or things like that in order to get up in the rankings. Personally, I think that's trying to abuse the system. No, either charge 4 or charge 5. Don't do 4.9. You're not being smart, you're just being a dick. And from a principle point of view, I don't trade with people like that. Though that does shrink the pool of available trades. So that's kind of annoying. But the entire process is rather mechanical. So as someone who professionally develops software for a living, my job is to spot patterns and automate them. So the trading, it's entirely automatable. So it would be way more efficient and take a lot of the frustration out of it. And it would respect people's time, both on the buying and the selling side. It would respect players' time way more if it was a completely automated system. But no, ever since Diablo 3 had a completely automated auction house that was it became a just implicitly accepted thing that it was a bad idea to have an automated auction house. Even though if you compare it with something like World of Warcraft that also has an automated auction house, that seems to work pretty well. So, I don't get it why people are not a fan. An argument that I've heard people made on I think it was the most recently on the Lionize Watch podcast, that currently not a lot of people are participating in trade. And if more people would participate, then item prices would go down because supply would increase. So it would become easier to find rares, basically, and it would become easier to find uniques. No, demand would go up, but in general there would be a wider diversity of items available at a lower price. Now, just compare it with the beginning of a league and the end of the league. Now, in the beginning of a league, items are high, and once you get to the end of a league, item prices will only drop. The trade-off there is, for example, if you contrast temporary leagues with the permanent leagues. Standard league, for example, all currency eventually flows to standard. all currency eventually flows to standard. So there's a lot of currency there. And because there's a lot of currency, it means the currency itself has less value, and therefore the prices as expressed in the amount of Chaos Orbs goes up. But that's not because things are more expensive, it's because Chaos Orbs are worth less. That's the interesting thing to take into account. It's inflation, pure and simple. And again, to compare it with something like a World of Warcraft or any other MMO that has an auction house, over time prices are gonna rise. Evil Line, also a good example. Evil Line is this game, an MMO I keep coming back to. I usually subscribe for about a month every year just to see what's new, what's changed. And I started playing that game in 2006. The base mineral in that game, Titanium, was, I think it was one ISK, so one bit of currency, or even less at that point. Last I remember last year, it was worth over 5. So the price of Titanium increased by a factor of 5. So that's from 2006 to 2015, 2016. So that's in 9 or 10 years. It increased 5-fold. And that's not to say that Titanium became more expensive. No, ISK just became worth less. So that's going to happen in a game like this as well. But yeah, the argument that we shouldn't have an auction house because it will make trading more available to more players and therefore it will ruin the economy. Well, I'm thinking the developers are developing the game with trade in mind. Trade is a core part of the game. They're doing a lousy job of highlighting it. But that's what they account for balance, for drop rates, for just how you're meant to find items. So I think if the argument that you shouldn't automate the trading because it will make trading available to more people, and that's an argument, then someone at GGG is misdesigning their game if that truly is the reason. So I don't really accept that as the reason. And we're just casually killing the Vaal Oversoul, as we usually do. Because, well, Vaal Oversoul is kind of a pushover. It's a big pushover, but it's a pushover nonetheless. And time to move on.
I give this warrior of Kitava to you, Tukohama, my father of war. It is good to feel your warmth again, Ramako, father of light.
And we are outside and it is bright and sunny. Groost will be happy. No, wait, Groost won't be happy, he's always grumpy. So, well, that was a bit more than I had anticipated on talking about trade and just general rumblings about things like that. Adding something like an automated auction house to the game. It will have changes. But as long as it's still worth playing the game in order to find upgrades, then I think an auction house will only enhance it. Will only enhance the game. But it's a bit double if the game has been designed with trade in mind, and then trade ends up being a very mechanical interaction between players and being a point of frustration, and that's not being used by a lot of people because of the set in accessibility. So yeah, I understand why it's a difficult topic, but on the other hand, I also think people are sometimes just overreacting too much to it. maybe shouldn't put a totem next to Clarissa. She's not really a monster we want to kill. She has a key we want and things like that. So yeah, well, as usual, I tend to think on the fly, so I tend to just be more long-form ramblings that might eventually reach a point of coherence or not. But well, if you have any thoughts on the point of trading, interactions with crafting, game balance, implications on the game, things like that, feel free to leave a comment. I always value feedback, even if it's just to tell me that I'm wrong. In that case, don't be a dick, be an adult, and come with arguments. That's
You are a welcome sight, daughter of Namakanui.
one of the worst things is just people being negative without giving a reason for why or being constructive, because in the end that it doesn't do anyone any good. But well, I'm gonna stop rambling here. We have reached Act 3. So next episode we're gonna move on. Crematorium, trial, Portolman, yada yada yada. You know the drill. But for now, I'm gonna thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.